That's after 3 days of burning without taking it and cleaning it or anything. But not too bad. We've gone through probably 5 gallons of oil in 3 nights. It's weird, you can see the pattern where the air blows out on it. But the even weirder question is, why is this waste oil stove in the greenhouse? Well, this year in Alaska, half of the time our temps are in the low 50s during the day. So about the time I finished the waste oil stove, we noticed that our plants were just like dormant, not growing, not doing anything, no matter what we fed them or anything. And it was just the temperatures. So we decided to put this in here, and we fired up during the night. Nice thing is, I got just like 5 gallons or whatever I put in here, so it's only going to run until it runs out of fuel, so it's not like it can run away. And according to our garden, it has made a huge difference. Of course, today, the one warm day of the year, it's actually 78 degrees in here, but since we introduced the waste oil heater into the greenhouse, it's just getting almost to a point where you're having trouble walking through here. These are cabbage. Look at that. Is that amazing? That's awesome. Radishes, basil. I thought I planted Blue Lake bush beans. According to how they're growing, they are definitely not Blue Lake bush beans. They're some sort of pole bean, I assume, but I've never seen a bean like this before. And yeah, and the peas are just, yeah, it's taller than me right now, but it's not on the ground, but it's still probably almost 4 feet tall. Tomatoes are blossoming. Broccoli's doing stuff, so yeah, they're starting to grow. So, hey, thanks for watching today's video on the waste oil burner. It was kind of a neat project, especially for us since the fuel is free. And it's not going to stay in here all winter. It'll be in the shed this winter because that's where I actually need it. I didn't expect to need it in the greenhouse. That was kind of a surprise, but it's Alaska and that's what we got to do. Love you, bye.
Come join us out here.
Life, what are you eating? You eat too much candy. Okay, well here we go. This is round 2 on the waste oil drip stove. Had to make some modifications. It did not work. Right now I've got our oil diesel fuel just starting to get it warmed up, but those little pipes that I put around it to direct the airflow didn't work. It didn't flow enough air, so I modified it. I cut those off and I just added, as you can see, there are holes all the way around it. Now we're gonna give her a few minutes to get things up to temp, and once they get up to temp, then we will open the valve that I also modified because that didn't work either. So what I did here, I reduced the size of this fitting down to a 1/2 inch pipe instead of 3/4. So I got rid of the bushings in there. And then you can't see it, but in the bottom of this one where it screws in, I welded it shut and put an 1/8 inch hole. So it should, in theory, let me see the stream, and I should be, still kind of coming off to the side a little bit. It's a little bit heavy, but I can see the stream. If you can see that. Where before I couldn't see the stream, and I want it to be just about that big. Just little. Yeah, now you can see it. And last night I think I had it open way too far, and it actually filled up the bowl until it ran down the air supply tubes, and then the whole thing was on fire. It was quite the mess. So right now, I don't know if you can see, the little stream of oil is coming in there, and it takes a good 15-20 minutes for everything to get up to temperature. So let's give her a little bit here. Okay, here we go. We've been running for about 15-20 minutes, and it's honestly, it's running pretty well. The front is reading around 300 degrees. I'd like to see a little bit hotter, but it's actually, you can kind of see the smoke there. If we can get a little more air to it, I think that smoke will be decreased. And this is still not working quite as advertised. We'll let her run just like that. This is not a powerful fan, but it is USB powered. Let's see what happens. Okay, now with a little bit of forced air induction, you can instantly hear the difference in the fire. Okay, yeah, it's definitely sounding a little more energetic. Now let's see what it does here as far as temperature. We'll give that like 5 minutes and then we'll check it again. It's working, dude. High five. You nailed it. It just needed a little more air. So as far as it working without air induction or forced air induction, it does work, but it's, I don't know, it's more inefficient and it's not very clean. Now we've just got a little bit of USB fan hooked up to it, and it seems to, I mean, you can instantly hear the difference. And that little USB fan will run off a DeWalt battery for hours and hours and hours. We will let that run for a little while, and then unfortunately the weather in Alaska has been less than desirable, and we frequently are not getting up to temperature here. So I think I'm going to have no choice, but for the summer I'm going to put this in the greenhouse, and we're going to help get temperatures up that way. Right now on the door we got 550. Up here towards the top we're at 264. Right down here, if you can see it on the side, we're at 584. So temp is coming up nicely. The fan is definitely working. It brought it up a couple hundred degrees there pretty quickly, and as you can see, the smoke is a lot less than you get out of a wood stove.